Good evening, welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now, November 11, 2025, to tell you what's happening, what's going on in Venezuela and in the Atlantic Ocean. Yes, in the Atlantic. Tonight, we're going to the cold waters of the deep sea to find out where, how, and when the United States ship Gerald Ford, the most advanced aircraft carrier in the United States Navy, is heading. The ship that could free Venezuela from Nicolas Maduro's dictatorship. Family, your likes and comments are super important today. We're going all in. We're going with Venezuela. Now it's for real. Family, one more night, one more day. Let's get started.
Family, very good evening. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now. What an honor, what a pleasure to be back with you. I know the community has many questions right now, such as why strategies? In the last 2 or 3 days, he hasn't streamed live. I'd like to tell it. But right now, I prefer to wait. To tell why we haven't had a live stream for the last 2 days in the last 48 hours. And I prefer to wait because I have hope that what happened can be solved. I have hope that it can be solved so that we don't have to involve the channel and tell what happened. But I have to tell you that I've had a pretty bad time. It's been a pretty tough 48 hours for me not being able to stream for a reason that we'll see if I talk about or not. Everything is fine. I'm fine, which is good. That's the most important thing, right? Physically, I'm fine. Thank God. And I feel pretty bad because I haven't been able to be with you all. I truly apologize. Really, I sincerely apologize to the whole community. We're on the verge of 300,000. It's super important to subscribe. I think tonight we could reach 300,000 followers if we all make it happen. I know you're going to ask me a lot. You're going to want to know. But I can't talk about it right now. It's a pretty complicated and delicate issue, both on a personal and professional level. We'll see what happens. Those who need to know already do. There's an ongoing process. And we'll see how it goes. But let's get to the topic because there are a lot of things to talk about. We've been apart for 48 hours and this is like two friends meeting up. 1 year, 48 hours in global news and security. It is a world, a whole life about this attack in India. Legs orders in Israel approved. First step approved for the death penalty to be implemented with some undesirables. Maduro. Yolani at the White House. Amazing. The leader of Al-Qaeda in Iraq, the leader of Al-Qaeda in Syria, sits in the White House. The world can go crazy. And, well, some really important news as well. Before we get into the topic of Gerald Ford, because there's some explosive news about this, I'm bringing you an exclusive. You know, always breaking the news with exclusives. There's something very important. The other day, I came back home. A person who had been in Gaza for too long. He was recovering among the ruins from a soldier who was shot down. It took me there many years ago. And the family can finally rest. They can finally rest, thank God. Too much time, too much, but the story goes on. We're already talking about all that topic. Well, we also have Mandani al-Mandani, please. Mandani, yes, Mandani, who's causing a stir in New York. Hold on, it's going to get rough. But I'm going with Venezuela. I know there are people who even thought we were traveling to Trinidad and Tobago. Osla, I wish it were Trinidad and Tobago. I keep thinking about it. In fact, from tonight on, I think military strategies has to go to Trinidad and Tobago. Because of what's going to happen. Well, let me tell you something. These things that happen, thank you. A few hours ago, I had the opportunity to meet a commander from the town. I'm not going to give personal details, obviously, because they are something he told me. Quite a bit, let's say, sensitive. We were in a situation, a coincidence, we started talking. I introduce him to the channel and say, look, military strategies. We would like to have the opinion of a flight commander with experience. And he alone, this great flight commander and pleasant gentleman whom I send my regards to. By the way, is he going to watch this program? I assure you he will watch it. He told me something incredible. The other day we discussed something that happened on Venezuela's coasts. Remember the B-52s? I'll show you some photos so you understand what I mean about this. Do you remember that the United States? Dual B-52. Look how close it was to the coast, Venezuela. It was there. The B-52 was there. They could see it from the beach. Maduro didn't send anyone. He couldn't stop something unstoppable. While it's true that the images have revealed, and this is the image of the in-flight refueling, the images have revealed something I could already suspect, and it's that they weren't armed. The B-52s were unarmed. It was a test flight, a flight great for stirring things up, drawing attention, and practicing. You have to see the number of planes they carry, aircraft carriers. Be careful with this because aircraft carriers are armed to the teeth. Well then, let's not get lost. The flight commander, we spoke with the flight commander. He said they're currently focused on Venezuela and handling issues in Venezuelan airspace. And he suddenly says to me, a few days ago when we were just on a route that passed through there, we had a major issue with the global positioning system. And of course, I said, this is what we did. That map we made here in military strategies. We used to say, hey, is there global positioning system interference in Venezuela? And he tells us, look, we were about to, in fact, he says we were about to have to turn back or land. Because not only did the global positioning system cut out, but there were also interference problems with the automatic dependent surveillance system. That is, the transponder that gives international notification of aircraft. That we can see, hey, there's a B-52 here when it's connected. There's an Iberia plane here. There's a Mexico airplane here. Whoever from American Airlines, whoever. This is what we always see, the flight radar says. Even with this, we had interference. And it was a very, very complicated moment. Chimbo, what if he died on me? And I asked him. I went straight to ask the commander. We're talking about the Trinidad and Tobago area. And the commander looked at me, laughed, and said, yes, he said. All right. And my question to the commander was, and to top it off, he says, who do you think is causing this interference? We're seeing in the background the gaming map of the Venezuela area. Well, it's curious because today they haven't plugged in the little machine or whatever it was that was plugged in. Today it's not plugged in, it's unplugged. There's only one spot that has global positioning system interference, which is this one right here, here and now. Later, I'll explain what I make of this or what I think. But if we go to the beginning of the month, We saw that in the area of Trinidad and Tobago, there was no global positioning system at all. That is, access was denied. On the second look at how it was, on the third look at it again, the situation was even getting worse. In some internal areas, even close to Caracas, there was also interference. That is, there was significant movement in this regard. But I asked the commander, I say, well, who do you think is doing this? Could it be Venezuela with Russian equipment? He says no. He says nothing like that. He says this could be the work of the United States. And I said, most likely. Most likely the United States of America has been interfering. Wherever the aircraft carrier is. The aircraft carrier was going to Venezuela, now it's not going to Venezuela. It was going to Puerto Rico, now it's not going to Puerto Rico. Get ready tonight because we have an exclusive where, how, when, and what way, and why. The aircraft carrier is not going to Venezuela. The carrier isn't going to Puerto Rico. I repeat, the aircraft carrier United States ship Gerald Ford is not going to Venezuela. It's not going to Puerto Rico. And everyone, 12,000 people right now. Please, your likes. You're saying, well, where is it going? Is it going to Africa? Is it going to Nigeria? Is he going to send it to South Africa? Where? Where is he going? Well, Jai. Careful. Because he's not going far. The other day, and here we already start with the exclusive moment. The other day, an event happened. It's important. Do you know we've been looking at the organizational chart of what was happening in the skies for hours? We were looking for real-time information about what's happening in the skies. Some information. Something attention-grabbing, right? We watched planes. And there was a flight that caught our attention. The plane. Or the most important plane. Or the second most important plane in the United States of America. It was flying. Heading to a place, heading to a country. That set off alarm bells for me. Let me put this on you during the live stream. Sorry, it might sound a bit slow. Or should I stop? It's because we're live, doing everything that needs to be done in this broadcast. We don't record videos to upload or create weird stories here. That's just not our thing. Our world. Live now, military planes. Live now, military planes. Over here, Midnight Charger, Golf, we have a wolf. We have a wolf over there refueling. We have an Aguax again. Over there was a flight. With the United States' second most important government plane flying over the Caribbean Sea. And that plane left. Here. Tumaribo. Capital of Suriname. Suriname isn't well known either. Well, there are people, and they say that you do know it. We Spaniards, not so much. Guyana, we don't know it that well either. Have I been around there? Did you know there are disputed waters and a territory in dispute with Venezuela, right behind Trinidad and Tobago? There's an area where there's a dispute. Right? We know about that, don't we? In fact, Maduro threatened to invade. Guyana to take part of the territory where there are oil wells, important deposits. We're doing well, right? Guyana, Guyana, Guyana. Pronounce it how you like. For us Spanish speakers, it's always Guyana. It's probably said wrong. We've noticed and realized something that stands out. Essequibo, that's what it's called. I think that's its name. There's a detail. And now we're going to switch maps. We're going to leave this one for our usual map. We're leaving this one, and we're going now. To read how beautiful the land is. The land looks beautiful from outside. Some places, what a shame. Of course, here we have to distinguish something. Right now, the United States has F-35 planes deployed in Puerto Rico. We know this area well and have discussed it often. It's the main base along with others. There are even runways, not this one specifically, but there are other runways that could allow B-52s to land. Could that landing be allowed directly? These runways have been renovated, they were abandoned. This image you're seeing is an old one. This has already been modified and is now operational. There haven't been any major movements in recent days. Does that mean that the detachment and the deployment are stable? They haven't been reduced nor increased. They haven't been reduced. But Puerto Rico remains, as of November 11, 2025, an aircraft carrier of the United States of America. Different runways, different opportunities. Would you want to? Gardens, 1. Why is the United States sending an aircraft carrier to Puerto Rico? For what purpose? If it's already covered? Is this Hector? We talk about sectors. We talk about northern sector of Venezuela, covered. Where is the place where the most military activity is happening in this whole story? Trinidad and Tobago the other day. And now we're going to show you a video we've captured. More or less like this, sort of secretly. The other day, someone leaked this video. This was leaked. A police convoy with United States military vehicles heading east on the island. And what is all this? Why to the east? A story about what or for what? Do you remember there were some military maneuvers? A few weeks ago, over there in Trinidad and Tobago, there was a commotion. Venezuela has said that it has broken its energy and oil well exploitation agreement. Versi, he panicked completely. She was left manca again. Did Maduro have eye bags? They were scared because they had brought a destroyer and a bunch of soldiers there. But they hadn't told us. Is that this military training operation with Trinidad and Tobago was a smokescreen to hide and transport materials to the island without raising too much suspicion? Why? What's the idea? Where's the aircraft carrier United States ship Gerald Ford really going? As of November 11, 2025, with the information we have, which isn't much, but it's not little either. Let's pull up the image. It's not much, but not little either. Do we know anything? Iwo Jima is now on San Juan Island. We know that the Iwo Jima is there. Right now, it's the flagship. It's the one carrying out, because of its capabilities, including its combat aircraft, it's carrying out operations. I'm gonna do something on the map with you live. You know I like to do this with you. It's participatory. By the way, super chats are open, the PayPal account too, and we're going to put your comments up in a few seconds. 15,000 people live now. To find out what's going to happen with the aircraft carrier and which one it is, oh, what will we see here? And what if we do something? What if... Shall we see? Shall we put an icon? Little star? What if we put Iwo Jima there? At some point, I'm not saying right now, at some point in this story, the Iwo Jima is placed vertically over Haiti, Cuba, cutting off the western flank of Venezuela, with their carriers and a destroyer or two for anti-air security. It is positioned in this area to carry out operations in the Maracay sector. Let's see if what I'm saying and have been saying can make any sense. Or maybe I'm totally wrong. Hey, it could be. I might have made a mistake and it doesn't make sense. We already know the other aircraft carrier we've mentioned. We mark Puerto Rico here. Greetings to Puerto Rico. About Requiemones. Thank you very much to all the people who watch us from Puerto Rico. Really, thank you for your support every day to this community. Looking forward to going to Puerto Rico. And there we have Iwo Jima, planes that we have there in Puerto Rico. What do we have left? What do we have left around here? We have the east, we have the north. Sorry, we have the west, we have the north. How are you? United States ship Gerald Ford. Behind Trinidad and Tobago? What if that ship is placed in this area from here? Let's mark it. This is amazing. The crazy stuff we're saying right now. It's amazing. Look, we've made a triangle and it's not the Bermuda Triangle. Triangle right now. Puerto Rico to the north, Iwo Jima to the west, Gerald Ford to the east. It was the other day. The second presidential plane or of high-ranking United States government officials to Suriname and Guyana to explain to them and to tell them, we're going to anchor the aircraft carrier off your coast. We're going to give you security. You won't have to fear Maduro. Maduro won't be able to do anything against you. We're going to protect you. I'm suggesting this. Was that meeting possible? What do you guys think in the chat? Why is that? I think it's crystal clear. Me seeing everything we have set up here. And besides, I'm not the only one who thinks this way. More people are already thinking the same. Does the route it's taking right now make sense? The Gerald Ford, in fact, has gone down to the area. Do you remember it went down to the Sahara area? Once it passed the Strait of Gibraltar, it headed south. Him. Right. Would that straight line reach these areas or these waters? And it's there. The Gerald Ford can enter the entire Venezuelan jungle and transform it. into a hell, and from there, the Gerald Ford can launch operations while being covered behind Trinidad and Tobago, protected by Patriot systems placed in this area. It can be protected from Venezuelan attacks and also provide security. For what purpose? Among other things, Nicolas Maduro cannot escape to anywhere. Let's see now. Another photograph of how our mosaic of forces is turning out. Oh my, look at this. This is big. I know that Diosdado loves to look at these kinds of maps. So later, on that little show he has out there, with the hammer striking, commenting and telling stories. Diosdado, note this. Because we're going to give you some clues. Let's put it like this so it looks good. And let's have a view of all this. Let's see. Pay attention to what we're seeing right now. The Puerto Rico area? Destroyers, drones, landing ship, fighter jets? Fauna of the United States. All right, Texas, all that area over there. The B-52s, the B-1S ready? In the Pacific, since we haven't discussed this much, what role is El Salvador going to have? In this story, there is a country called Nicaragua, which is a logistical supporter of Nicolas Maduro. Is something launching or happening in El Salvador? Will an operation be deployed there? Could we see it? Surely El Salvador has offered its airspace, territory, so that United States planes can enter. They're not going to ask Nicaragua. They're simply not going to ask Nicaragua. And we wrap it up with a photo. We're still here checking out things that are super, mega interesting. Come on, let's keep looking around here. Look, let's put it closer. Because now, already doing the math, we have 2 nuclear-powered submarines. More than 248 cruise missiles ready. And 248 to launch in the first round. They can attack more than 248 targets in the first hours, just from the sea. From naval platforms, destroyers, cruisers, missile launchers, submarines, missile launchers, up to 248 can be launched. We haven't added the number of missiles it can carry to this. The Iwo Jima and the Gerald Ford. There, the numbers can vary a lot. But the punching power is tremendous. Look. 3 B-52 bombers can carry all the cruise missiles you see there, all of those. The B-1S, 3 of them can carry that whole amount of munitions. This is taking a turn. Something like this had never been seen before. Something like this had never been seen before. And the map is getting much more complicated every day for Nicolas Maduro, who has already offered to step down. They guaranteed him a safe exit to somewhere. I don't know where he wants to go, and they've said no, that he's staying there for now, that they're going after him. 16,000 people live right now. If you're not here with us, subscribed, please subscribe. What a moment. We're close to 300,000. Let me tell you how many more we need to hit 300,000 followers. Here on Military Strategies, it's to break the 300,000 mark. We have 500 people left. 500 people. We'll make it. We won't make it. Will we make it? I think we will make it. I'm sure we will make it. Family, there are many more of those. Erazo from the video. Look, look, look. They're getting ready to a level. I don't think Maduro will even go out to face them. It just seems pretty strange to me. Would it be literal suicide? Militarily speaking, it's a pretty significant problem. Greetings to our community in Brazil and friends in the United States. Thank you for being with us. Please write in the chat where you are connecting from tonight. Where are you visiting us from here at Military Strategy? Your comments are important. Let's check your super chat. What do you think about this story? I know there's been quite a bit of activity. Let's greet all our friends. And now we have more information. This has just begun. Andrea? Thank you so much, Andrea, for that super chat you just left us a little while ago. I'm trying to put it up. And there it is. There's Andrea. Thank you, Andrea. Every day, Henry, I watch your whole live stream. You are tough. You have a lot of courage. My respects to you. Thank you so much, Henry. Thank you so much. Precisely because of that, in the last 2 days, we haven't been able to broadcast. I've always said it. On this channel, we're going to tell things as they are and as they happen, whether people like it or not. I'm not going to make the script from an agenda or a script set by others. In exchange for, I don't know, I'm going to put unreal examples. In exchange for being invited to a Coke, a glass of water, or a piece of chocolate cake. And we don't sell ourselves, we just tell it like it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Angel, thank you so much. We're really worried. I am too, Angel. I'm very worried because what happened is serious. Very serious too. But for now, let's try to solve it at home. Ana Maria, feeling strange, strategy without her community. Blessings, we're being tested. We have to understand that. Big kisses from Argentina. Thank you so much for those kisses. Thank you so much, Victor Strategy. How can you be sure the B-52s were unarmed if most of their weapons are stored inside? The external bays were empty. I've seen a photograph where they were empty. And normally they load cruise missiles in the external bays. In addition, it also has freefall munitions, JDAMs, and things like that. I've seen common cruise missile configurations. Oh, it's the air-to-ground missile, 158, which isn't a cruise missile, it's a glide bomb, but it has a lot of capabilities. Modern ones. And didn't it carry them? It's obvious. If the B-52s are going to attack Venezuela, the operation will be carried out carrying as much as possible of ammunition. There, the United States will not act. The mistake of not fully loading all external and internal bays with as much ammunition as the plane can carry. In fact, I mentioned the other day the tests they're doing with the B-52s. You know that when the plane is loaded to its maximum weight, it exceeds the maximum takeoff weight. It can't take off directly. If the plane's fuel tanks are filled all the way up, it loses its capacity to carry munitions. What they do is load the minimum amount of fuel necessary for takeoff. And after a few minutes, those B-52s do an in-flight refueling. An image like the one we'll see now. One moment, we're looking for it around here. Here it is. That's from the other day, Venezuela area. Do you see the bays? What I mean, the bays of the plane. Of the B-52, I used to see them close up to here. So you can see it. We pause the video for a moment, zoom in. There it is. Those are the bays. The hooks are empty. There's no ammunition loaded. So what we're seeing right now is that the plane wasn't loaded. Maybe be careful. It could have been carrying something in the cargo hold, but even if it wasn't loaded, if a configuration was set up, for combat, that is, the whole process involved. Loading the minimum amount of fuel, just refueling, nothing else. Taking off at the airbase in the United States. All of that is being done. But those are details that need to be looked at. Vivi, thank you very much, Vivi, star collaborator. Thank you so much, Pablo, gift memberships. 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Pablo, for your support, Andrea. It's psychological intimidation, waiting for Professor Girafales's reaction. Is it possible that a psychological campaign is being carried out against Maduro? The most important thing is that you're in El Salvador. Do you want me to go to El Salvador? Are you serious? Do you guys want to? Do you want Estrategists to go? Do you want to do live streams in El Salvador? Tomorrow I'll call the embassy and ask for permission. I promise. Tomorrow morning, Estrategias will call and we'll take care of it. Fernanda, please don't worry us. Just message to let us know you're okay. I couldn't message, Fernando. I couldn't. I'll explain it to you later. No, we couldn't. Maria, thank you so much, really. Thank you so much. I was really overwhelmed by the situation, you know? But well, we're here right now. Thank God we're here. If you want to know when we're going live, when we're live, and when we're not, Telegram group Military Strategies Telegram group. There you have it. Zing has posted the link in the chat. Thank you so much, Zing, for always helping out. Thanks to all the moderators who are always here. Thank you very much, really. Thank you very much. Guarimba is in mourning. His little dog, Clarita, has died. ID Agustin. I'm really sorry for both of you, truly. I'm sending you a big hug because of Clarita. I know how it feels when you lose a travel companion. I'm truly sorry. A hug, Guarimba. Lots of encouragement. You know this is your home and you have what you need. Chop. Something still catches my attention. Now let's move on to another topic. Maduro is making many private flights to Nicaragua, to other countries in the region, to Colombia, to Brazil. What are they really moving? Are they moving people? Are people leaving from there? Are they trying move the gold and other money? What are they doing? I don't know. And I don't know. But they're doing something. Check out this video. They aren't getting anything by the sea. I can't show more frames. Why? Don't you like YouTube? Is there something I haven't told you about this? I'm going over here to the left side. I'm going to tell you something about this. Listen carefully, pay attention. We're going to talk like this, quietly. These are secrets. We can't just tell everything like this and let everyone hear. United States. He has a plane called Ghost Raider. Hey. Driver or Ghost Rider? Do you remember the movie Ghost Rider? Does he have a plane? It's an attack cargo, 130 gunship. Some of you mentioned it here recently. They're using an attack cargo, 130 gunship to destroy those boats. Greetings to Nicaragua. We love you, family. Of course, they're using drones. They're using everything. Here it is. Look. The fishermen. There go the fishermen. Look at them. Look at the bundles of fish. There go the fishermen. With 3 outboard engines, well, 3 outboard motors or 3 horsepower, 300 horsepower each motor. Mother of God? Yes. Another price. The Caribbean Sea will soon have the most coral reefs, thanks to Petro and Maduro's ships. By the way, speaking of Petro, I saw him the other day. Greetings to Colombia, friends from Colombia. Let us know you're here, buddies. Petro spoke the other day. They had him locked up somewhere in some tavern, and they took him out for a walk so he could get a bit of fresh air. The other day, Petro made some statements. They're being dangerous. He started telling the United States that he was waiting for them. He was waiting for the United States. Come on, let's listen to him. Let's listen to Petro. To Petro, not even 2. And that, Petro, nothing. He came in, Petro. Here it is.
I'd definitely say this to Rubio and Trump.
Be careful.
You are crossing the Caribbean of the liberators. Be careful. You are messing with the homeland of Bolivar. Haven't you read the history of Bolivar? They are reaching the islands and lands where armies of peasants with spears defeated the most powerful armies in the world. One the Spanish of the king, another the French of the Republic, and they couldn't do it. Careful. It's just that in the Caribbean Sea, there are some people who have always been used to hurricanes, and they can break loose like a hurricane. And that's what the legend says. If the golden eagle attacks the condor, they awaken the jaguar, so the people of the Americas don't awaken the jaguar. We can still talk. South America can save the United States by cleaning its energy matrix of fossil fuels, coal, oil, and gas. Let's talk, but as equals without kneeling.
Should someone bring out a breathalyzer when Petro speaks? Well, a breathalyzer. Maybe a spray to detect what's on the table in case there's some flour left around. That being said, when we hear Petro speak, attention Marco Rubio and Trump, as if he were someone who matters or has any influence. He just can't be arrogant. When you have nothing, for example, have you seen Putin, a guy who has nuclear weapons over there from a country called Russia? That is the focus on Marco Rubio and Trump. The bears rise up. Wolves wake up in Siberia. Haven't you seen Xi Jinping yelling at Trump and Marco Rubio? No, actually, Jinping doesn't yell, and sometimes he doesn't even speak. It's just with his look. Is he managing China? What kind of shady tavern leader is Devar? Does he always talk like that? Is there a reason? Are they going to defend the Caribbean Sea with arrows and spears? We have to remind Petro that part of his army is co-financed by the United States of America. The spare parts, Petro, are not bought on AliExpress.
So I would say to Rubio and Trump,
To Trump, what is this one saying?
careful.
Careful for you, Petro? Be careful. When your neighbor's beard is shaved, you should soak yours too. The cap I'm wearing today. Well, look, Petro's pretty pissed off. Because since he was expelled from the United States, they've taken away his visa so he can't go there. Well, he's with Marco Rubio. How annoying. Marco Rubio, who's doing an excellent job at an incredible level. Venezuela, Cuba, El Salvador, and other countries. And this is just food. This is just the first part, the story that's coming your way. Careful, we're taking off. It's amazing to still see the Harriers taking off. Well, the Harriers, the first vertical takeoff planes, especially by the United States of America. Russia had its own equivalent as well. But it's an aircraft. It's beautiful to watch it take off. This is the Iwo Jima. Look at what kind of systems or flight platforms it can carry. Many more have arrived since then. The Navy's F-35 can take off vertically. It can also land vertically. That's an F-18B aware. The United States also has an electronic warfare version of it, which could leave Petro and Maduro unable to send love messages to Xi Jinping or the Ayatollah. I was telling the commander, the other day they were jamming us so badly that we lost global positioning system. Imagine seeing this appear. Prumbo, wherever, if you're scared. Not even Spain has the air firepower that an aircraft carrier has. What fruit? See how they look in these images. These are NATO exercises. Training all day. Do you know how much this costs the United States of America? All-day planes going from one place to another. Mouths. The United States military budget is incredible. The cost of this whole story, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. Look, here we see the emergency cable that has been installed in action. In Puerto Rico, look closely at how the F-18 lands. It gets caught on that cable, so that the plane stops and doesn't fall into the water. Sometimes the cable has failed and there have been some accidents. There are 3 cables. If it doesn't catch the first one, if it doesn't catch the second one, did it catch the third one? And if there's an emergency on an aircraft carrier, what do? They raise a net and the plane gets caught by the nose. Boom, that's it. This system, however, is used as an emergency measure on land. The issue with the cables is to stop planes that might have any kind of mechanical failure. And this has been installed in Puerto Rico. This is expected to bring more planes. When the F-15S arrive, it's a big sign that we might see the F-15S there, arriving there. 100%. Ram, what's wrong with Trump? Why doesn't he make the decision? Well, I think now is the time to focus the topic towards Trump. That's what's happening to him. Are they looking at or considering the legal aspect of this whole story? You already know there's a huge problem in the United States right now. Democrats, Republicans. Trump is seeking full legal coverage. So he doesn't have to give so many explanations about the issue of Venezuela. But the decision, the military operation, if it's approved, it's signed, all that's left is the arrival of the aircraft carrier. And to start looking to the other side, to start looking for Maduro's exit. But for now, Trump is there. Moving pieces. Showing people off at the White House. Well, people, Historic photograph, Hatsia. Please, you guys, give it a name. Does it exist? But what is this? This is a real photo, not artificial intelligence. Does it exist? I can't believe it. Well, it's just that the other day, Yolani was playing basketball with the head of Central Command of CETCOM, the Central Command of the United States of America. But someone posted a harsh comment, Cresco says. Well, Yolani has experience playing with round things. Before, she used to cut them. Now she buys them, and they're filled with air. And cheers. How can the world change? Me? Let's see. I'm not criticizing this, right? I don't like the photo. That's clear. I don't like it. But me, as I've always said, Yolani is the lesser evil that there can be right now. It's the lesser evil that there can be right now. Have you posted here yet? Has he been arrested? No. I haven't been kidnapped by the Revolutionary Guard. Right. Nor the KGB, nor anyone. None of them. No, relax. Everything is fine. If I disappear, no one will look for me. No, don't think that. If I don't take care of myself, I will. They're not going to take care of me. I mean, they won't care. No, yes, it's a curious thing about Yolani, conductor of Al-Qaeda in Iraq, then in Syria. And now look at him there, in the White House in Val's office. Imagine bin Laden. He's a genius, Trump. He's a genius. Careful. We have the media impact of seeing Trump shaking hands. But what do you all think? The Taliban, the jihadis, Iraqis, the Syrians, to see their leader, quote, greetings to Jotar, quote, their leader, quote, shaking hands with the great Satan. United States. In Val's office. Many won't like this. They won't like this photo. And for us, it's a shock. For them, it's a shock too. Very intense. But that's the world. Geopolitics and geostrategy are all about strategy. Maria, thank you so much. Maria Costa, thank you so much. You're in a cave. Your profile picture is visible. Luz, thank you. Welcome. Popular support. Shabuato, good evening. Thanks again. And will we eat pupusas? Strategy. It will be a pleasure. Walter. In Salvador? I want to visit Salvador, Trinidad and Tobago, and El Salvador. We're ultimately campaigning for a river. Greetings from One Lake, California. Live. Guillermo, thank you very much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for making this channel possible. Thanks to you, we've been able to solve something important. So that we can keep doing live streams. I'm not going to tell you more because for now I don't want to say more. If the situation isn't resolved, I will tell you. I promise I will tell you. I have an obligation to tell you. But I'm going to wait. Well, family, the reunion has been very intense. We've shared a lot of information. Thank you very much. Really, tonight. That's it for today. Let's leave it here. See you in the next episode here on Military Strategies. Help us reach 300. Please subscribe. How exciting. 300,000. That was recent, right? 2 years ago, we were just 5 great people in a live stream. And now we've achieved really big things. Thank you so much for making this possible and for being with us. We'll see you in the next show here. See you next time. Chulani, good night. Good night. Let the war begin and Venezuela Libre be armed. Greetings, family.